I told you a little bit about podcast. Yesterday, a guy brought from Ossetia, from our hometown, this.
It's like
horn.
for going into war, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's we in Kafkaz region, where's wine, homemade wine. They usually pour wine in it.
And drink
and
it.
if you have a very respectful, if you will come, for example, back in the days, they're well respected.
This is what they would.
And you
Can I see?
Yeah, sure. It's a mountain goat's horn. It's a real horn.
Yeah.
So
Is it like-
no, you can do this sound. It's for
It's for drinking.
it's for drinking. And I told them, come on, you gotta told Alex Volkanovski stop drinking from the shoes.
Bro, that's gross.
I didn't want to disrespect him. Gross. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
What they doing is gross.
Yeah, bro, drinking out of a shoe.
Somebody's shoe.
Yeah,
It's
it's
amazing.
not even their own shoe.
Yeah.
No, that's
And they teaching techniques how to do it. I mean, come on.
yeah. Do you drink?
From the shoe, no.
No.
From the shoe, never.
Yeah.
I tried couple times my own, like at home by myself.
When no one's looking.
I'm like, oh, I like it. I gotta
funny.
get myself level 10 for drinking. So, this is his age. Basically, the mountain goat. Do you know how it looks like?
Yeah,
So
it's the big,
and this is his age.
They climb, don't
They
they?
say they can stand like in the
Very,
cliff.
yeah, that's like
And
straight.
it's like where he's standing, you can see it.
Yeah.
And
I watched it on Animal Planet, so that you can see them climb the cliffs.
and you see when the snow leopard is hunting them.
Yes,
and
bro.
they catch and they
Yeah.
flying like hundreds
I seen
of
the
meters.
one I seen it got away from the snow leopards or the
Oh,
leopards.
And when they hitting the stones,
Yeah, they jump.
and they still manage to survive. It's you imagine the human being who fall into that
Yeah.
cliff and still run.
Gone a bit limp.
James, it's finally we're doing this.
Yeah.
Thank God you find time and we managed to build this studio before you left. We have only a couple of days to do it, so
Yeah.
you're leaving on Thursday. Good to see you, brother.
Yes,
Man.
thanks very much. I appreciate it.
In good spirits and good looking, good spirits,
Yeah.
good shape, and nothing but good positive vibes. And
course.
it's very good to see you, man.
Thanks very
I
much.
never thought we will like just
Yeah.
I knew you. I'm a big. I told you a lot of times I'm a big MMA fan, and I know you since you were a teenager.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are for me like a guy from TV, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And in a good way.
Yeah, no,
In a good way. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and I'm walking out of the gym and you going without a short. Oh, this is him. Good to see you, man.
it's
It
funny.
was very
Thanks
good
very
to
much.
meet your dad too, and good to see you, man. How
Yeah.
are you? How been your camp?
Great, bro. You say I'm in paradise training, so I'm happy and, do you know what I mean? Positive. Feeling good, looking good, strong, fit.
So you preparing for a fight?
Yeah, I'm fighting now in 3 weeks and Friday passed. So just got a few days, 20 odd days left. And yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Fighting in Sioux Falls in South Dakota. So it is in America. Fighting a guy called James Gonzalez. He's from, he trains with, Adjaman Sterling?
Yeah, of course, you're from New York.
New York, yeah. I don't know if they're like teammates, but I know they've trained together a little bit or whatever.
You know, when they're from the same area, they
Yeah,
of course they're kind of doing something together from time to time.
They have the same coach, that Ray Longo.
Ray Longo,
yeah. So it's
he's
this
looking
guy's
like an
coach.
Italian mafioso. Shout out to Ray Longo, Matt Serra, to all the boys out there in Long Island.
It's funny. Yeah, so it is. So very good jiu-jitsu guy. So it is. So I'm looking forward to that challenge.
And so you leaving from here to United States, or you going back home and then?
No, so I leave since it's such a big hour time difference. So I'm going to leave here 2 weeks in advance.
Mm-hmm. So from here to United States.
Yeah, straight from here to Sioux Falls, set up there for a little bit. One of my good friends live there. So go over, have a little setup, a few teammates coming over and set up camp there for a week and get used to the time zone, the heat, acclimatize, and get ready to go.
And we'll do what you're doing best.
Exactly, bro. Doing what I love.
Yeah, and so it's if correct me if I'm wrong, it will be the second fight in a new weight.
Yes.
Right? Correct?
No, this is I fought this weight class before. I've just moved up, so it is.
We talking bantamweight?
No, this one's featherweight. So it is.
I'm sorry. I kind of.
My last fight was bantamweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I kind of confused.
Yeah. So my last fight was bantamweight at 135 pounds, and this one's going to take place at 145 pounds.
So you will have more, at least more power,
more juice in the
more
tank.
juice.
Yeah.
we will talk about weight cut because it's a very not only hot topic, it's interesting issue.
Yeah.
The how each fighter approach his weight cut. It doesn't seem like you're cutting a lot.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So it doesn't. But I'm a lot big. I'm a lot heavier than I look.
Yeah.
So yeah, I walk around at about 75 to 77 kg.
Oh, kg.
Yeah.
I was like you will say pounds. And
Yes.
I'm like, no,
so
kg.
like 170 pounds.
No, kg. I don't know pounds.
You yeah.
No,
so
I'm a kg.
You kg guy, yeah.
KG bean guy.
Yeah. So it is. So I walk around at about 77 kg, 75 to 77. So it is. So to get to 61 from there, it's a lot of weight. Yes, it is. So
James, from your experience, if we'll talk percentage, what do you think in percentage from your optimal fighting shape, this type of rough weight cut, how it takes from you? What do you think? I don't believe anyone who say, "Oh, I'm fully recovered."
You're not. There's times like I have felt good. Yeah, I've felt good, but it's like even though I've went in there and felt good and done good, I'm still in the back of my head. I'm going, I'm still not 100%.
You could have.
I could have even gone more. Do you know what I mean? And that's just how I feel. And it's kind of like even for this one, it's like even though I'm going up a weight class, I still have a big weight cut.
Yeah,
like I'm 3 weeks
more
out.
Than 10 kick,
I'm 20. Like today, I'm like 22 pounds like to go. Do you know what I mean? And it's still like under 3 weeks to go. Yeah, so it's not as big as it usually is, but it's still pretty difficult to do. But I don't feel like this time it's like it's not going to zap my energy. Do you know what I mean? It's just enough to like make weight, feel good, get lean, feel athletic still, and not feel like a teenage girl. I feel like so skinny.
Just what you need, just exactly.
Yeah, just what I need. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be lean, ripped, and feel good. And my nutritionist Tyler Minton, he's like one of the best. He works with Max Holloway, works with Khabib. He's worked with Khabib in the previous, so he's worked with like.
Man, Khabib cut a lot of weight.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So is Max Holloway. He's one of the biggest featherweights in the game.
He's even taller than Khabib.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? So he works with a lot of good guys. So there's never a problem with not making weight healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like he always makes sure that I'm health first. Do you know what I mean? Most important, right? Most important. Do you know what I mean? So it's still that, but even him, he feels that it's better now to move up. I'm kind of getting older. I'm 26 years old. Do you know what I mean? And I never have a strength issue.
What do you think? I think 26 is when you're getting into your prime now.
Yeah. You mature.
You mature. Yeah. Your head is where you
your
need
head
to
gets.
be.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? My head fits on my shoulders now.
You know this head issue I have in my life because my older brother, they call me Galavastik, which means big head. So,
Bro, when I was a kid as well, she used to call me fat head.
And I kind of a little pump my shoulders, you know, to look better.
So it is.
So it's not your first camp here in Thailand.
No, this is my first time ever in Thailand.
First time.
Yeah.
So you will have you gotta take a lot of data. Let's say how I would say today.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is this right now? Yeah, it's summer everywhere basically, but this vibes, this attitude in this. Honestly, I've been here for a couple of months, and we've been talking to the boys. I mean, every day it's never it's not boring. It's every day cool vibes,
new
right?
Every day, it's like when you come here,
usually at the gym, it's every day like
it
happens.
It gets very tedious.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But then that's what like I don't really mind tedious either because that's what like separates Do you know what I mean? If you can show up every day and keep chipping and
No
chipping,
matter what the circumstances,
no matter
and
what
what
it
the
is,
vibes in the gym, of course.
yeah. But when you come here and it's like paradise, sun shining,
And you're still working hard.
and you're still working, and that's the thing with it's like I haven't been to many places where it's like paradise, but also everyone's so like working hard still. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you go to those nice places a little bit, sometimes people like switch off and spend more time on the beach than they do in the gym, but here it's time everyone's in the gym. Do you know
But
what I mean?
from one side it's paradise, but it's very challenging. It's humid. It's very high. Humid, right? Humidity.
Yeah, very humid. It's like a sauna.
And yeah, it's like a sauna all the time. We were in Bangkok in May with all the team, and they were the first time the wrestlers went to ADCC.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about these results, but anyway, we will cut this one. This leg locks. This devastating.
That's funny.
No, we wasn't ready. I mean,
Yeah.
and I registered myself into the white belts. And they disqualified me because I got. Oh my God!
You spilling coffee everywhere.
A little bit, a little bit. So I got guy with this.
The
He was
can
pulling the
opener,
guard,
a can opener. You call that?
I was listening to the rules. They didn't mention it.
Yeah.
It was for a
It's a
second.
neck crank.
Your neck crank, and he started screaming. I'm like, come on,
it's
man,
not
stop
that
it.
bad.
It wasn't that bad. I just would for a second.
Yeah.
For what I was saying, in Bangkok it was like 45. A day very hot.
Yeah.
And I was competing in 77 to 76.
Oh, nice.
And I needed to cut a couple of kilos. So I just
step outside.
I just laid under the blanket in the room and switched off the air conditioning. And by the morning I was 76. I even cut more than I needed. And I was curious because of the I was talking with Frank, with Brad on this exact couch. They were saying a lot about mindset, and I was kind of analyzing myself how it is, because our first time with the guys, first time here. We're not nearly at the stage of you, a very mature career and you fighting for the world championship. You aiming there. So we just doing the transition. And I think for you, with all this, you throughout your career, you have a lot of stress, let's say, a lot of tension to you. And what do you think from your perspective? You yourself called it paradise. Does it help you because there's a peaceful, good vibes? There's 8 weeks for you. You're in a good spirits. And this 20 pounds and 2 weeks will be for you like a finish line, but you will be in a. Can you speak a little? Do you understand what my point?
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like it's so good to be able to like come somewhere like this and just like everything's switched off. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing else going on but showing up to the gym, having a good time, and putting in the hard work. Do you know what I mean? There's no distractions. Eating clean, eating healthy, no bad food, no bad distractions. Do you know what I mean? And it's just everything is about training and looking after your body and mind. And a lot of people, like, they kind of want to come and push their bodies and push their minds, but they forget they look after it. Do you know what I mean? And it's easy to push hard, but you can push on. The hard part's to push hard enough, then to pull back, rest, recover, maintain that, and then push hard again. Do you know what I mean? That's the hard part, to find that balance. Yeah, so it is. And when I come here, it's like, since there's no like distractions, there's no like kind of stuff going on outside of training, it's so much easier to do that. Do you know what I mean? You get massages, you can recover, go to the beach, get good sun, stretching, yoga, everything like this. So you're always feeling fresh for training, and there's so many good facilities here.
And all the activities are related to your shape.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. So everything that you're doing fun, is like hill walking, you know what I mean? You're recovering the body, you're taking the mind away from things and stuff like that. So it's definitely very good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll be looking forward, man, to your fight, because it's. I think we'll be sitting here at the ringside.
Yeah,
watching yourself,
eating the breakfast.
No, I think you can eat. Fighting is not eating for me. Like,
you
there at the fight, and it's very interesting. We've been talking a couple of days with you. I was thinking about the topic, because we can if you have time we can continue this. I will it'll be cool to call your dad and sit around and talk and talk. We have a lot to talk about because I told you that I lived in Dublin for 3 months and I'm a big fan and big friend of Irish people. Let's say
nice
I have a good friend, shout out to Peter Mamaev Peter. He is a black belt in Dublin. He's from Ossetia. I think almost 20 years he living in Dublin. Dublin, we call it Dublin. Not Dublin is like American way. We call it Dublin, and in Russia. So he owns Jungle BJJ. Maybe you've been there.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never been, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so he runs the place with his wife.
Nice.
She's Italian. So if you've been, you live in Dublin, right?
Nah, I lived in Dublin since I was 17 or 15. Up until I was, I think, 22.
I was reading your bio. You were born in Great Britain. Or it's not correct?
Nah, that's not correct. So
we're going to work on your Wikipedia, man. I have complaints, man. Tell them, and tell your manager, man, I got to talk to him.
Nah, I was born in the town is Derry. So it was well, I'm from Strabane, but the closest hospital was Derry. So they say I was born in Derry.
That's where your nickname coming from, right?
Strabanimal, because my hometown is called Strabane. So they call me the Strabanimal. So it is. But
fair enough.
2 and 2 makes sense. And I come from Strabane. I'm an animal, so it makes sense. But I come from Strabane in Ireland. It's a small little town in County Tyrone. It's about 4 hours from Dublin. So, well, it's about 3 hours away from Dublin. So it is. So when I was 15, I moved to Dublin to train with John Cavanaugh and SBG and Conor and all those guys. And I actually lived with John for a few years, so I did until...
It was the exact time when Conor just started, right? You moved and he started. It was pretty much the same time.
Yeah. When I moved there, he didn't just start training. He was
becoming the Conor of the world.
Not really. It was kind of before. I was training there for about 2 years. Yeah, before. So it was because when I moved there, we were.
It was
fighting.
11 or 10 or 11, right?
11, 12, yeah. But we were fighting on the same shows then. When I kind of went there, we were fighting in Derry, fought in Letterkenny. We fought in them 2 shows together, and then he fought for Cage Warriors a few times, and then won the 2 belts.
Yes.
And then went to the UFC. So when I quit school,
so you were witness of. Witness, right?
I witnessed the changeover of how it all unfolded, because when I was there and I met John and stuff like that, and that it was like no one was in the UFC in Ireland. Do you know what I mean? And I was just fighting locally, and so was everyone else. And then when I wanted to quit school, my parents were like, "You can't quit school." Do you know what I mean? Like, how can you make money?
When you become obsessed with MMA, what age? Because I have a feeling that you for sure become obsessed at one point. Very early stage.
Yeah, it was about 14, 15. So I started fighting at 13.
So can you speak a little bit about this when you were 13? 13 years ago, when you were 13 years, about this fight? Because you don't have a headgear. Is it a professional fight or was it amateur fight?
It was amateur fight, but it was headshots, like we could hit to the head.
It looks like... you have this... so it's a professional fight, basically, right?
Pretty much, but it's not like a professional... You're not allowed to elbow. There's no elbow, so there wasn't, or heel hooks. You weren't allowed to elbow or heel hook. That was the rules for
it. They didn't have elbows on Pride too, bro. You know what I mean? So,
and the rounds
were... It was
3 3-minute rounds.
So time.
Not 3 5.
Anyway, it's amazing. 13 years. I'm not trying to learn. No, James.
It's crazy.
I am really in a good way very impressed with how you maintain through your life. Because it's very hard. I have an uncle, my dad's cousin. He's 2-time world champion freestyle wrestling. Nice. He was in the 80s. And he quit wrestling at 23 because he said, I was training since I was a kid. His father was a trainer. His father is very famous. He died in 94. No, he was an old man, but he said, I was sick of wrestling because nothing but the wrestling was in my life. And you know that to maintain the balance, you have to find something to do outside of hard training. And
That's hard to do though. So it is. I don't.
how you maintain the balance?
I think to be honest with me, I feel like it is when I do anything else, I don't really like it. So I just like training.
You like training,
yeah.
competing. Interesting.
Anything else that I do is kind of more to just take my mind away so that it doesn't get sickening or tedious, you know what I mean? But I don't really enjoy much else but training.
It's very good. Find yourself something to love, and you will never say the word.
You never work
a day in your life. Yes,
that's true. Do you know what I mean? And I love the.
And throwing
just
quotes
the process. Yeah, I love the process of it, and it's kind of like I only do other things to just so I'm not here all day overtraining and doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I don't like chilling by the pool. I don't. It's just boring to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind going out from time to time. Do you know what I mean? I don't really drink, so I haven't drunk in months. So I've kind of stopped drinking. I've stopped going out. You know what I mean? And it's just. I'm not into those kind of things.
You're staying focused and
and that's what and it's kind of to me that's fun. Do you know what I mean? So now that you can look back and be like, oh, that's 4 months that I haven't broke this discipline. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of let's go another 4. Do you know what I mean? Let's go another 4. Sticking
and you
to
challenge
the
yourself. Challenge yourself all the time.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So that's fun to me. And it's now I've got this fight ahead of me. Do you know what I mean? I've got a very good opponent, and kind of people I feel people underestimate him. Do you know what I mean? You look at him and it's kind of oh, he's, you know what I mean? James going to walk through this guy or whatever, and it's yeah, but you are just ignorant. You haven't looked at this guy, haven't looked at his skills, haven't looked at what he's about, haven't looked at what he's done. He's been in the game a long time as well, so I know how hard of a challenge it is for me, and that's what excites me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm
of course.
Let's bring that. Do you know what I mean? Pull the best out of me, make me push myself to them limits. And
you gotta fight top of opposition to get the best from yourself,
or else
right?
I'm just gonna be boring. Do you know what I mean? So if I don't have those challenges every day, you know what I mean? If I don't have something that's a big hill to get over, it's kind of well, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Where's the challenge in this? And that's what I thrive. I thrive on people challenging me and tasks, and that's why I feel I can't be really with all the outside distractions and stuff that comes along with it, and the stuff that people fire at me, it can't work against me because I love challenges. So the more that they fire at me, the better. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of
course,
it gets me going. It's it's come at me. Do you know what I mean? Try it. Try it. It might be right. Do you know what I mean? You might
speaking about coming at you with all weapons they got. You from the beginning, at 19, you're already in Bellator, right?
18.
80.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's wrap
I think
it up,
was
man.
it?
I'm sorry. It's
was
too
it,
much of
18?
mistakes from me. I'm sorry, man.
Was it 2000? No, it wasn't 2019. No, it wasn't. Yeah. No, but it was 18 years old. I got signed.
100% you wasn't 20. So it is impressive already. So, and of course, when you, let's say, in Russia we say wunderkind, prodigy.
Yeah.
Like when you're very young and as we talk,
I still feel like a prodigy. I still feel like a young prodigy.
You're young. As a man, I think you will reach your peak. You start reaching your peak right now.
Yeah, I think
because
so as well.
In every way, even in physical way. Even I think as a grappler, as a jiu-jitsu, as a black belt, I don't know. Even grip, I think after 30 changes. Something changes, you know. With this man slap, it's different. It's very different, you know. From boy slap. So, James, can you please share a little bit of your experience? Because there is a story when Lennox Lewis was at your locker room. Can you? Was it at your first fight?
Yeah, Bellator? First Bellator fight. That's mad. So it was because I went there, right, and it was they were like, "Oh, you're on the main card."
Excuse me, there was a lot of pressure for young men. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can you please tell more from your experience? Because as we speak with you, unique experience. Not a lot of fighters, athletes, even artists. Experiences, the young age, and maintain. A lot of people break.
Yeah, they
Home
crumble.
Alone story.
Yeah.
This type of stuff.
Yeah.
But you managed to maintain and to stay on the top.
Yeah.
Can you please from the Bellator, Lennox Lewis, please?
We went there to it was just me and my dad, and we flew out to my fight, and I was fighting there on the main card in the O2 in London, and I was only like 18 years old, and it was kind of like my teammate Kiefer Crosby, he was doing my corner at the time. He was in Vegas training with Conor and all those guys, so he was flying from Vegas over to help me out. So we got there like a day early, and they were like, "Oh, you got to go and do a press conference." I'm kind of going, I've never done a press conference before. I don't know what this does. So I just have like a tracksuit on. I got my hat on or whatever. And I'm just kind of like, do you know what I mean? Getting over fight week, kind of running around doing my thing or whatever. And so I go up to this big hotel and I walk in. It's like big 5-star hotel, Rolls Royces everywhere. And me and my dad kind of looking at each other like, is this the right place? And I'm like, well, that's where they send us, you know what I mean? That's where the cars are up this off. It has to be, you know what I mean? And so we walk in and I walk in and MVP's there, and I kind of know MVP, do you know what I mean, or whatever.
Venom Page?
Yeah, Michael Venom Page. Hoist Gracie's there, who I just met before, like I walked in, I'm like, what the fuck, do you know what I mean? Hoist Gracie's one of my idols, do you know what I'm saying? And then this guy comes over, and I'm kind of like looking, I'm like, I know this guy's like, I know him, do you know what I mean? And we're like speaking, and then the lady that was like kind of our PR lady or whatever, she came over and she was like, "Is everything okay, Lennox?" I was like, "This is Lennox Lewis." Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? And I knew I knew this guy. Do you know what I mean? But I just didn't know that this was Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, what the fuck? And so we were like just sitting there talking, and then the next minute we're just talking about my career, and he's like asking why I'm called or he didn't ask the S at that out, but he was like, show me all these videos of him warming up for Mike Tyson that no one else had ever seen. He was like, these are not public. And it was just mad. So I'm sitting there like doing it, and then they call me up to walk out on the stage. So I'm there, and they call out like MVP, Paul Daly, Douglas Lima, who else? Like Scott
all the
Coker.
superstars of Bellator.
Yeah, like all these big names. And then they call out me. So then I'm just walking out, and I'm a little. They're all wearing suits and all. I'm just like in a tracksuit, and I just walk out. And so I have to speak. Do you know what I mean? So I have to like introduce myself. So I go to the guy. I'm like, what the fuck do I say? Do you know what I mean? I've never spoken in front of people before. I don't know what was going on. Do you know what I mean?
In the main card.
Yeah, on the main card. So I walk out, and I'm like, my heart's like sweat. So I'm like, all right.
You're like, I'm better go fight me.
Yeah.
Right? No, I'm not
So
talking.
and then I just kind of stop, and I'm like, there's Lennox, there's Hoist, there's everyone. I'm like, yeah, fucking right. I belong here. And then I'm like, what's happening, everyone? I'm like, my name's James Gallagher. I come from a small town in County Tyrone called Strabanimal. And they call me the Strabanimal because I'm an absolute fucking animal. And I come from Strabanimal. And Lennox Lewis stood up and started clapping for me. And I was just standing there. I was like, what the fuck? And then the next minute, the first question was like, James, how does it feel that Lennox Lewis was like, and was standing up cheering for you? Then the next minute was like, James, blah, 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 blah. And you could kind of see everyone like just, like looking, going, who the fuck's this?
with a little athlete jealous.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I was just kind of sitting there, and it was kind of like, it was a bit mad, but no, you just kind of don't let it get to your head. Do you know what I mean? It definitely got to my head a bit, but you just have to have a fine balance.
No, the good thing about you face it on the early age of your life.
Yeah, I don't know if it is though. I don't know, because it's kind of like you had to learn on the job. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard to learn on the job when you're already good and mature and experienced. You know how to handle things a bit better, as where I had a lot of fuck ups that I had to learn from. Do you know what I mean? Which is very difficult to do that under a lot of like pressure. And that's what.
But the good thing about fuck ups is your fuck ups, and you are only one who can get the best of it. So they can talk whatever they want.
Yeah.
They don't know what you know. It's like about the jealousy and stuff. When people, like, for example, jealous, and they only jealous for your jujitsu.
Yeah.
No, be jealous for everything, for my fuck ups, for
Yeah.
my heart beating like this,
Exactly,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. And he wants you I'll get your teeth, your tattoos,
Yeah.
and I'll be jealous of it.
Yeah, right.
No, just go through everything.
Yeah.
How out I'm going, and shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
wear my shoes and see how
Yeah.
you get on, kind of thing.
Just stop talking.
Yeah.
And no, I know that. English is not my native. You know?
Nah, you're good. You're good.
I kind of watching it every day and saw a lot how media. It's interesting. When you mature and grow man, you kind of understand what is media and how it affects. When you work in media, you kind of understand what's going on. But isn't it fascinating how athlete, a professional MMA, I don't want to use a trained killer, but a super athlete on the top level and media journalist.
Someone that's well trained and could kill you.
Yeah, and he's nervous about. I don't know, no disrespect for brother Ariel, but Ariel stood up and he's like, you know what I mean?
Nah, Ariel's my guy. Ariel's my guy.
Ariel,
I love Ariel.
no disrespect for Ariel. I have a lot of respect. I've been following him since day one. I just telling that how media can get to you, how he put a lot of pressure, and how it's important to understand it, and to make it work for you.
Yeah, you have to be.
I want to get from some advice to you.
Yeah,
You already. I'm sorry, James. You're already on a stage on your career when from your experience, you can share something. You know what I mean?
It's very, very easy because all media is attention. That's literally it, and it's kind of people don't really look to see what it is. Do you know what I mean? Only the people that care about you and really are really into you look to see what is and not what it looks like. Do you know what I mean? So, and usually it's a big difference between what is and what things look like, and media is all about is putting a look on something.
Yeah, what is look? Yeah, to make an impression
attention. Get attention, and it's very, very simple. And all you got to do is get people to look in and see, wow, that's amazing, or which gets good hype or whatever, or else people they look in and go, fuck him, I don't like that, and that's as far as they look. Do you know what I mean? So you just give them that snippet, and that's it, and then it'll blow up. Do you know what I mean? And you can get a lot of hype. So it's you always start and finish on something that's just a look. Do you know what I mean? And then the people that want to tune into and really know about you, they'll watch your whole career. They'll watch the story. They'll watch the steps, and they'll know what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is where usually it's very easy to get under people's skin and play the media card easy.
A lot of guys in Russia, they, for example, they watching Conor's making this press conference or your press conference with the translation. So basically, he's not listening to you. For example, he's listening to my translation, my Russian.
Yeah.
James Gallagher сказал только что.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he can hear you. He can hear your tone, your the way you speak, the way you react on certain. And one thing I learn about Irish people, they very sharp on the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it in English. But
they're sharp with it.
Yeah, and you remember when Conor said, "I can rest my balls on your forehead." It wasn't script, right? It wasn't written. It was just a reaction of a guy from the street. You know the street. I bet in your hometown. This with somebody on the street roasting another guy, and he can even almost crying, and everybody just
even though they didn't know what he said.
For fun, just for fun. He getting killed, roasted for fun. And from what you guys, first of all, English is the, let's say, language of the sport.
Yeah,
and the guys who sharpen in English, they be sharp in this conversation. And it's amazing so I can tell when the guy's real on press conference. You gotta be real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta be.
I can be fake when you starting something and be fake.
Yeah.
And when can you tell, please, more, when you kind of on press conference, it's not an act.
Nah.
You just, for example, I'm your opponent,
yeah,
right? And I'm like, hey, you James Gallagher here.
But that's like,
and you're like, what the fuck we're talking about? And you
and you just
this
go.
is you being you.
Yeah, you just go. It's kind of like, you can't like, I can't like sit there and think in my head, like have all these premeditated things.
Yeah.
Because it's such like, well, first of all, there's a few hundred, probably at press conferences, there's usually 50 to 100 people there. There's usually 20, 30 odd media guys have all cameras in your face, and you don't have time to think or like premeditate stuff. So you kind of just try to stay relaxed. Do you know what I mean? Just stay kind of relaxed. And then when you're so relaxed that you don't really feel, and you feel like anything from him, you just react. Do you know what I mean? So it's never like...
You in the moment.
Yeah, you're just in the moment, and it's kind of like them things can get like, you know what I mean? They can be stressful if you don't get in the moment and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
The way that I see it is that I'm going to fight this guy, and I can say what I want about him. Do you know what I mean? And if he doesn't like it, then do something about it.
Yeah, you have all the options, yes.
Do something about it. And then the thing is about it, he knows that he's not really going to do nothing about it. So, but he wants to, but he can't. Do you know what I mean? So then that's when them reactions happen. Do you know what I mean? And you're just sitting there like, go on, do something about it. Do you know what I mean? You're going to sit there and run your mouth. Do you know what I mean? And you'll get antsy and stuff, because when the way that I like to do is, if you start stating like just facts about their career that they don't like and present it in a way that's funny, they just get like so angry about it. Do you know what I mean? And they can't take it. And it's facts. They can't really say nothing. So then it's always just, I want to fuck you up. And it's like, all right, we'll do it on Saturday night. The last 20, you know what I mean? The last few guys have said that, you know what I mean? Everyone's saying it. So do something about it. Yeah, do something about it.
There's a legendary footage of you and Conor talking. Both of you are very young.
Yeah.
You're 15, he's like 24.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, he'd be 26. I'd say 27. Yeah, 26. 27.
So he's like you right now.
Yeah, so it would be the same as just me now.
I can. It's you. Of course, you the guest on the podcast. You the man, and but I cannot not talk about this footage because it's very interesting.
That's great footage, isn't it?
Let's talk about you, James.
Yeah, that's from.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to. It's interesting for me.
Yeah, that's from his first movie. That's where that clip. I think that's where that clip came out of. Or no, is it? Yeah.
I saw it many years ago. I'm sure I saw it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first time I saw the clip.
Nah, that's what it was from the way back ago when he released his little documentary thing.
And I've been here a long time ago, so I know.
That's where it came from. But we were in training. It was during the day, and I think it was like jiu-jitsu class or something, and it was just me, him, John. He only had like one UFC fight, I think, one or two, and he had some media stuff, and he was going to get a suit, and he was on the phone, and he was speaking to the guy that he was getting a suit or something, and then I was there, and he was, how did it go? But he was like, oh, wait, you see the suit I'm getting or something? And I'm like, nice for some. Do you know what I mean? It's because it's like I'd never experienced anything, you know what I mean? I didn't even know what a tailor-made suit was.
And at that time, even you guys didn't know what is going to happen, right?
No, do you know what I mean? But that was the start of it, you know what I mean? Like that was the first, you know what I mean? I'm sure he didn't even have custom-made suits then, and I think that was like his first kind of one that he was going. He's like, I get to go in and get a custom-made suit, and I was like, nice for some, and then he just was like, looks back and is like, soon enough, Jimmy boy.
Soon enough, Jimmy boy, soon enough.
Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, as they say, that I'll be in that position one day. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm forever grateful to be around people like Conor and like John Cavanaugh and stuff, because when you are that age and I've seen what he's able to do, I've seen what John coached him to do, and seen what he's able to do himself, and then to have someone like that tell you, do you know what I mean? You're going to be in this position someday.
In a developing stage of your life.
Do you know what I mean? At 15 years old, it's kind of like you look at that and then you look at yourself in the mirror and go, fucking right, I'm gonna be that. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna be that, and I'm gonna be at that and so much more. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of just keep blowing up and blowing up and blowing up, and it's kind of like hard not to strive for that.
It keeps blowing up.
Keeps blowing
it will,
up.
right?
What, and especially when you see like the likes of what Conor has done, man, because there's MMA and then there's Conor McGregor. So it's like to see someone that has become bigger than a sport. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? And I know Conor on a personal
a social
level.
phenomenon. How can I
Yeah,
say?
man. And I just look at him and like, fuck, like you done that, mate. Like you completed the game. Do you know what I mean? And just by truly devoting every last inch that he's got to the game. Do you know what I mean? Like his dedication is like just unmatched in his work ethic and his mindset towards it, and just to be around that at a young age, to be around that energy and around that, and it's like, yeah, I can do that. And to see like what the things is, like stuff that I might do that no one else does. Conor doesn't even do. No one else does.
Because you got to do something.
Yeah, but
different and.
Yeah, but when you're around
way.
those guys like that, it's like that with that kind of that winner mentality. That there's winning mentality, and then there's that elite mentality. People that can do the impossible. People that do firsts. Do you know what I mean? And when you're around someone like that, they're even
game
changers, and when you're around people like that, they teach you to like learn that even if you're doing something that no one else does, and you believe in what you're doing enough, it will work for what you want it to work on. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like there's some stuff that I do in my game that some coaches have before. They've been like, oh, I wouldn't be like jumping on people's necks for guillotines. It's so risky. And I'm like, I don't find that a risk when I'm finishing people with it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm that good at it that I've put that much work into it that no one can stop me from doing it.
You will go.
I will do that.
To it.
That might be risky for you, but it's not risky for me. Do you know what I mean? And that's where believe in yourself that much that people can't put you off. And no, there's different making mistakes and taking risks.
You know when Messi, it's I didn't interrupt you.
No.
So when usually football players, if I'm go over you, I will like running and on the side, and I'm not a big professional in football, but what I know about Messi, he can go like, for example, defenders. He can go in the middle, like in a to the fire.
Yeah.
Is it what you're talking about? Because you know his skills.
He knows.
Because for me, it's risky, dangerous, even for the coach. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Exactly, but that's the thing. Just go to the fire. Do you know what I mean? And people don't want to go
and rely
there.
on your skills and work ethic and discipline,
exactly,
right?
Go into that fire. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't go in there, then you're never going to be different. And that's the problem, do you know what I mean? Is everyone's just getting by, but no one's doing the things that most people wouldn't do, the most things that people wouldn't say. People are scared to do that. This is where I'm like kind of going, well, I'll do that. Do you know what I mean? I'll be that guy. Do you know what I mean? Because I believe in myself and my work ethic so much that nothing can pitch you off your line. Do you know what I mean? Where you're going and what you're meant for. And that's the thing that people don't really see. They can't see that. People can't see where I'm going. Only me. Only me knows what my next move is. Only me know what's in line for my career in 3 years. Because it's what I work for. It's what I believe in myself. It's what I tell myself. It's what I do day in, day out. And if you don't have that belief and you're kind of not like, don't have that mindset, I feel like you're not in this game for life. Do you know what I mean? You'll fizzle out of it. The pressure will get too much for you. People will say a few things that you don't like, and you'll pitch you off and you'll break. Is for me, it's kind of like people can say what they want because I know what's what. I know what I'm about. I know what I work towards. I know what I do day in, day out. I know me. You only know what I tell you. You only know what I show you.
Yeah, what you decide to show.
Yeah, what I decide, you know what I mean? So that means I can control what you think about me.
People get caught up on this feeling of social media that they know you.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like I control what you think about me. So that's my power. How you think about me is me. Is what I, you know what I mean? That's me making you think like this. That's me making you do that. Where you like me or don't like me, that's me that made you do that. Do you know what I mean? And that's not, and if you're not in control of that and have like a problem with that, that's when you get your like hurt. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you think that about me? Do you know what I mean? Is where someone thinks something bad about me is because I did something to make them think like that. And that was for a reason. That was for a reason.
Absolutely. You know, you've been, it's once again, James, it's a rare conversation when you throw in the names like you throwing. Like, you know, when I came to the gym and John Cavanaugh was there and then Conor show up and then we start doing something and that's quite a names.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's very, right now, very popular. This life coaches, all these mentors in internet, they say surround you with the good people. You know better than everybody. Can you share? You already sharing. You what you're saying. It is actually what I'm asking. To surround yourself because you went to Dublin to the good school, to the good master, and basically surrounded yourself with the people who are striving, I'd say, for greatness.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are trying to push the limits.
Yeah.
So besides your own fire that you bring through your DNA and you got it from, you know, and you building, but how important it is in your career, not only for a fighter, but as a man, a girl, to surround yourself with the people.
Yeah, bro, it's quality because
who will help you to get to another level.
Yeah, you need that, and it's kind of like I've been very fortunate as well. Like my family support me like so much. Without my like mom and dad, I wouldn't like, you know, it wouldn't be as easy as it is for me. You can see like even my dad's come to Thailand to make sure that, just to make sure that.
A lot of respect to him,
yeah,
man.
do you know what I mean? Those like helps anything I need. He gets it for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Just to make sure that I can solely focus.
He's
on
your
training.
agent and manager, as I understand. Is your
No, not my
advisor.
Yeah, advisor. Oh, he's a smart man. Do you know what I mean?
Consigliere.
So, yeah, he's a smart
I grew up
man.
on this Italian mafia movie, so I'm sorry.
He's a smart man. So if he gives advice, you should take it. Usually, you know. What I mean?
Yeah.
He's
Sure.
he's never once put me wrong. And anytime I take his advice, it's always been right. And he's kind of just he's always just making sure that I'm able to just do what I do. Do you know what I mean? With no bullshit getting in the way. And I just have so much respect for my parents. Do you know what I mean? And what they give to me, what they've done for me, and the advice they've give to me about how to just like handle things and whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, because they say it comes from the top down, and you add your own little flair into the mix. And do you know what I mean? Because I've definitely done stuff where my parents are looking at me going like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you know what I mean? But then it works out. Do you know what I mean? Or else sometimes it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? And then you got to learn from it and you got to grow.
That's what we call life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is when stuff like that happens, and it's only natural to like feel down about it, to feel, you know what I mean? What the fuck? It's not working out. And that's the thing is that having such good parents like that is kind of, they'll be like, well, your life's pretty good. You've done all right so far. Get fucking back up and go again. Do you know what I mean? And kind of I've got that perfect balance of sweet and tough love. Do you know what I mean? But between like, they don't ever force me to do anything, and you know what I mean? My parents respect me as the man that I am, and you know what I mean? They don't baby me around and don't tell me what to do, but they're just always there for when I need them. And I've got a lot of respect, and it's a lot easier to, I feel like in this game, it's the main person is the man in the mirror. And when you have such surrounded by like such good people, it's easier to deal with that man in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I love. That's the good challenge, is just having that battle with yourself. Do you know what I mean? To push yourself more, to drive for greatness. And then when you're around those good people, and then you're having those conversations with yourself, you're like, look, everyone else chasing greatness, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? I can do that better than him. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
And even though they've done something that's impossible now, do you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, well, I can do that better.
How important is to say that what you aiming for? You know
You
what I mean?
have to. People are scared because they don't believe in it. So this is why
It's
people...
important to say to the universe.
Yeah.
How is it cliche sounds?
Yeah. So that's what, for me, it's
To
like...
life. I mean, I'm gonna do it, right?
And it's like, yeah, it's talking to the universe, and that sounds cliche as fuck, and it is cliche, but it's kind of like, I ain't talking to the universe, talking to me.
To myself, to yourself.
Do you know what I mean? And once you say it, it's kind of like, you believe yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like when I talk to you, I believe what I'm saying to you. Do you know what I mean? So if you talk to yourself, like, you know what I mean? You start to believe. It's like if I tell myself, tomorrow I'm going to wake up, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to do 2 hours of drilling in the morning, I'm going to stretch, I'm going to roll out, I'm going to go and see a physio, I'm going to fucking come back in, I'm going to spar, I'm going to eat clean, I'm not going to do anything bad, I'm fucking going to get enough rest, enough this. So if I tell myself that I'm going to do that and I don't, it's just not a good feeling. But if I go and tick all those boxes, then you can look at yourself and be like, I did that today. Now tomorrow I'm going to do this. And then you build on it, you build on it, you build on it. Now you've got momentum. Do you know what I mean? And you just keep that ball rolling and tell yourself how great you are.
You know what? You're pumping me right now to do the run in the morning. I'm telling you. I'm like, listen.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I'm being dead serious,
I'm
bro.
not kidding.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But I'm being dead serious, you know what I mean? Tell yourself before you go to bed, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be in a good mood. And
don't be scared to tell it.
And don't be scared, and see if you're not like feeling good. Still do it. Still show yourself that I can do whatever it is I want, no matter how I feel. Do you know what I mean? And once you can do what you want, no matter how you're feeling or what's going on, you're unstoppable, because I can control everything that goes on with me.
The main thing you're conquering is yourself.
Is my mind, you know what I
If
mean?
you conquered yourself, you can conquer everybody.
Because if I can control my mind and I walk out and I fight and I'm feeling sick, right? But I'm telling myself, all right, I'm feeling sick.
You never feel 100%. I bet you never felt.
You never do. But if you control your mind to be like,
you'll be 110.
All right, accept that you don't feel that good, because you have to accept things.
Yes.
You can't ignore them. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, if I walk into a fight and I'm feeling a little down, I'm not feeling myself or whatever, and I don't accept it and I try to ignore it, I'm going to get a big wake-up call when I step in. So what you do is you accept all the negative and go, but I've done this, and this in training. I can keep calm in here. I can work on this and work on that. And now that means I'm in control with the best options that I've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I would rather be in control of the best of those options that maybe are not as good as those options that I'm not in control of anyway. But if I'm not in control of those options, then they're not there for me. Do you know what I mean? So there's no point wishing that I felt good.
You know, Habib, he said very good, it's a very good quote of him. Let's say it quote. So some of journalists said, what, are you prepared or something? How you prepared? And he said, I've done everything I could in my power in training camp. Nothing, the rest is not on me. I've done my part. I rely on my hard work. I know I've done everything I could to prepare.
Yeah.
So you can't stop me.
Yeah.
I've done, I could, you can't do more. I've done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right?
And that's the kind of thing that's like, see when
you're talking about something like this.
Yeah.
You just sure what you're doing. You rely on it.
Exactly.
And it gives you confidence.
Exactly. And that's the thing is like, see, like, if you like talk to me and say like 6-7 weeks out from my fight, right? And I'm always positive, I'm always happy, but you'll see like maybe my confidence isn't the same as it is like fight week. Because not to say that I'm not like confident or whatever, but I'll be speaking like far out from my fight, but going, have I done this today? Have I done that today? Have I done this today? Have I done this? And usually it's yes. But when it comes to fight week and we're doing a press conference, going, I have done everything at the best of my ability, and nothing in the last 12, 13 weeks could stop me. And now I'm up here with someone sitting over here thinking that they can stop me. It's like, nah, not today, mate. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at them, your confidence is just through the roof, because you know, like in my back pocket, I've done all this work. Do you know what I mean? And there's one thing that nobody can take away from you, and that's your hard work. Do you know what I mean? And that's where your true confidence comes, because when they're talking about you, you're like, oh, you're not this here and you're not this or whatever. You're like, well, look what I on the back of my head, I'm going, do you know what I've done in the last 8 weeks? Do you know what I've put myself through? Do you know how hard I worked? Like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
Only me that knows. So this is why I'm so confident, and this is why people don't like what these people don't like confidence because they get like intimidated by it.
It's interesting why people want you to lose. I don't know. It's a very interesting nature of people. You don't know the guy, you start hating on him because of he said something, right?
Yeah.
That's why they were waiting for your loss. They were praying for it. If you will ask them,
but yeah.
If they will see you on the street, they will take a picture. By the way, bro. Right? Right.
Yeah, do you know I've caught?
Been a fan all my life, man.
Do you know I've caught people like this like so many times? You know what I mean? I would just see them taking a picture, and then you see them talking shit online. But that's funny. But yeah, bro. But it's kind of like, for me, it's the reason why people are like, oh, I get it a lot. You know what I mean? But the reason why none of that gets me is because if someone says something about me, that's usually to do with me making them say it. It's like,
you control, as you said before, right?
I control it. I control what you say about me. Do you know what I mean?
You're at the stage when you get it right, and you the conductor.
Exactly, bro. Up here like playing little puppets.
Master of puppet. One of my favorite songs.
Yeah. You know
Obey
what I mean?
your master.
Because, and you know what I mean? And it's kind of probably bad not to say this, but you see when the ratings on my fights and my contracts are up for negotiations, you see all the what the fuck you call it, the impressions that it's generated, all the views that it gets, all this here, all the numbers, all the stats and everything. You see the promoter that's paying me, Bellator, and the guys that work there, they ain't looking what people are saying. Do you know what I mean? They're just looking at numbers. So what people say,
clicks and numbers.
So what people say, it doesn't really matter as long as they're saying something. Do you know what I mean? Keep saying something, please. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's hard.
Somebody have to be bad. Somebody have to be good. It doesn't mean that in life it's the same way, right?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
A lot of good guys in the media, in life is not the same.
Yeah.
And other villains that you say, oh my God, I hate them.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because it's kind of like they have an expectation out of like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? And it's like they don't know what you're like. My
favorite is when somebody hated us. I like it. I'm McGregor, I hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, it's mad.
Habib, I hate him, man.
It's mad. I've got his friend, he fights in the UFC. He's called Gunnar Nelson. Do you know Gunnar Nelson?
Yeah, so from Norway.
Iceland.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Gunnar.
Yeah. Great friend of mine, bro.
Yeah.
But
of course, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
great jiu-jitsu.
yeah. So this helped me a lot. So
second in the world, I guess, is jiu-jitsu, or the first. Even the world, he won the worlds in jiu-jitsu. Obin.
I think he won the world. Yeah, I think he did. So I'm not sure, but he's like Gunie. He's very funny when you know him. He's the most funny, outgoing. Like you're just crying, laughing every time you meet him. But when he's in the media, he's just like, yes, no. Like just stoic, do you know what I mean? There's actually a funny meme where you go around, it's like happy Gunie, sad Gunie. And he's just the same, yeah. But bro, it's kind of like even he gets people to talk shit about him, and I'm like kind of going, he doesn't even say anything, and people don't like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they still
hate. So when you're like young coming up and you can see this and you're going, well, if I get people to say stuff, whether it's good or whether it's bad, I'm gonna get a lot. You know what I mean? Because if I don't do anything, they're gonna hate anyway. They're gonna, he's boring, he doesn't say anything, or else he says a lot, so he's a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? So there's there's no winning. Do you know what I mean? But so if they're gonna say something, you may as well get them to say a lot. So then I get a lot. Do you know what I mean? So they do a lot, I get a lot. So it's like win-win.
Everybody's happy.
Everyone's happy. They're happy hating on me. And I don't really give a fuck what they say, but I'm able to get paid and come to paradise and train. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. And I've got my family, I've got my good friends that support me, and I don't need nothing else. Do you know what I mean? I can pay my bills and I fight for a living. I fight to pay my bills, and I can pay a lot of bills. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm happy. I can, you know what I mean? Fighting allows me to come and travel and train and do what I love.
You live the dream as you want it.
So it's kind of like
as you want it. Yeah.
As I want it. So it's a win-win all around.
James, first of all, God bless your parents for doing a phenomenal job of supporting you.
Yeah.
I came from the family where my parents are very strict. Used to beat up me little.
Yeah.
And they have to. And so I support them. But I never heard in my life no.
Yeah.
They're very strict, but I don't remember as he said no.
Yeah.
I don't even can't even imagine the picture. He said no.
Yeah, you're lucky, bro. That's the way I was raised.
So God bless through your parents. I want to wish
thanks very
all
much.
the parents
I appreciate that.
Who got both parents. They super lucky.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you living on Thursday. It's Sunday right now. I'm gonna miss seeing your dad outside of the way you guys training. We have a nice conversations in the morning. I always have an excuse why I'm not training.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Big Andy over here. It's funny.
Have great times, man. I will for sure. I'm spending if you spend one of your summers of your life, it's a big part of your life already.
I gotta come to Russia sometime, train over you guys.
Yeah, let's stay in touch. We will love to see you, and in our region, we will show you the Kafkas region. So, man, want to wish you best of luck on your coming back to Bellator cage.
Sorry, I'm a little run down as well for I'm speaking a little funny.
No, you're good, man. Been following you since the beginning. Super glad and honored to have a conversation with you, and thank you very much for being so down to earth and humble. And I know how a lot of people pictures you from your career, but I had a chance to see you as real James, real life James, and have a privilege to know your dad now. And want to say thank you again,
one,
man.
Bro. I appreciate it.
If you have something to say, man, just...
Nah, I just want to say thanks to all the lads here, Bangtao, Frankie, and George, Brad, all the guys, and you and all the bunch of killers that you have brought.
Thank you.
So it is because, they have pushed me hard in the wrestling scene and prepared me for my fight. So it is, so I'm very grateful to be around good people and to be share my knowledge that I've learned from like John and Connor and all those guys, and do you know what I mean, to be able to share a little knowledge with you and take a little bit and learn and grow. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I've been talking to Frank, and Frank is from the same city as Michael Jordan, as from high school, everything same. And I'm like, it is the closest I've seen to Jordan. Like through you. So we have in our gym, we have a couple of signed, you know, this UFC posters, like limited. With the when you guys sign in the Bellator,
the posters,
So 125. So we got Habib and Connor's.
Nice.
I think it's the best.
That's a legendary, the biggest.
It's a legendary. And I've been talking to guys. You are sitting very close to Conor and Habib right now because they touched it. It's a little bit of energy. I mean, I have to motivate, inspire. But I really do believe so. He touched it. And through you, you told a lot of good stories about Conor. So thank you very much, to be honest and open. So good luck, man. Good to see you.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks very much for having me on. Nice one.
Всем привет. Подписывайтесь и ставьте. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Nice one, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you.